Starfield is crushing it. And today's news, we're going to talk a little bit about some of those numbers. It is officially released everywhere. The official release date, it was early access last week. Official release date was yesterday. And even the God of War director hails Starfield as top 3 game of all time. What's interesting is there also is some terrible hot takes on this as well. And I think what it comes down to is people being a little bit disingenuous and just paying for clicks. I've seen some big YouTube creators who we will not talk about because I've been thinking like their takes are so bad. For instance, one of those hot takes was, this is a hot buggy mess. I'm playing through this. It's not buggy at a hot buggy mess. I don't know where that take is coming from. And the only thing that explains it is that people are doing it for clicks, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's the world that we live in. I do stuff for clicks even, but God of War director says top 3 game of all time. Here's exactly what he had to say. He posted this over on Twitter. David, is it Jaff or Yaff? I think it's Jaff. Let me know in the comments how to pronounce it correctly. Here's what he has to say. I'm console agnostic. You all know that. A great game is a great game. Amen and well said. I say this because if you love games as well and don't have an Xbox, you owe it to yourself to get Game Pass for 1 month and try out Starfield, even if just using cloud. It's easily one of my top 3 games of all time. Now, your mileage will vary, of course, but in the past, you found yourself realizing your taste and mine is similar enough. Don't let this childish console war nonsense keep you away from this brilliant thing. If you love first-player action adventures, you owe it to yourself, or single-player action adventures, you owe it to yourself. I would agree. So I actually had this debate yesterday with my brother. He doesn't think it's better than Skyrim. For me, it is better than Skyrim. But I asked him how he's playing this game. And this is the thing. It is distinctly better. It is distinctly different than both Skyrim and Fallout in the way that you go and do the missions. So for in Skyrim, your side quests all loop back into and cross over with the main story. That's not necessarily the case that I found in Starfield. So for instance, I have only really focused on the main story mission myself because I find it that engaging. And so I reached this point. I'm about 10 hours in now, and I've reached this point where something has happened. No spoilers here, but it changes everything. My brother has not yet reached that point. He's only been doing side quests. And so he thinks Skyrim is better. I think this is better. I genuinely think this is Bethesda's best game. But look at our play styles. I think he's playing Starfield the way you would play a Skyrim. I'm playing Starfield with the main quest in mind here, and that's not a knock to side quests at all. I'm just getting through all of these things and discovering. The main quest leads you to discover more things and more things and more things, and then stuff unlocks and happens, and it changes everything. And I think experiencing that as a result of us playing the game 2 different ways, we've experienced it 2 different ways. And I told him yesterday, I was like, you got to do the main quest. Got to do the main quest. So, but I would be interested. But that's the kind of difference in reviews that we're seeing here. But I agree with Dave Jeff. It's as of right now where I'm at, it's one of my favorite games that I've played. I haven't been this hooked since Red Dead Redemption 1. Red Dead Redemption 2, I was hooked, but not in this same way. This keeps me interested in going, and it doesn't feel grindy yet. And I know I have this whole other worlds, but I have all these other things to do still and unlock. So I agree with David. Hey, my name is David too. We're great. We think alike. Not only that, so that's the director of God of War saying top 3 games of all time. Console wars are stupid. Phil Spencer yesterday tweeted out, Starfield has exceeded 1 million concurrent players across all platforms today. This was yesterday, the release of Starfield everywhere. Thanks to all the players who helped us reach this great milestone, and congrats to Bethesda Studios. That is absolutely huge, guys. That is huge. 1 million concurrent players is astronomical. Ha! Astronomical. See what I did there? It's Starfield. Astronomy. Space. Astronomical. And then look at this review thumbnail that was put together. 10 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 9.7 out of 10. It's amazing. I mean, and this is what Xbox needed. This is what Game Pass needed. And I think Starfield has delivered. I think look at this is the power of gaming that Sony has done right for the last decade that Xbox has been missing. This right here. Guys, if you want to experience it, you got to get Game Pass at the very least. Like, you got to experience this game. Those kinds of games and experiences, that quality is what Xbox has missed, and it's what they've nailed here with Starfield and Bethesda. I think we can all see that just with this game, the Bethesda acquisition has paid off for Microsoft and for Xbox. Do you disagree with that? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments below. I think it's well worth it. Well worth it. This is the kind of title, 1 million concurrent players, the kind of news. Granted, this is across. Remember, this is across PC and Xbox. It's across Game Pass. This is also available on Steam as well. So this is across all platforms. Only helps Microsoft in the long run. Only helps Xbox, only helps Game Pass. Because, yeah, you could pay the full price over on Steam if you want, or come to Game Pass, pay a monthly fee, and you get Starfield with all these other games that are coming. So that's the selling point, and that's why I think Game Pass is the future. Again, I've said it before. I'm like a broken record. I'll say it again. I think Game Pass is a smart move, and I think it is the future of gaming subscription. Gaming is here, and it's here in a powerful way. Up next, I thought this was really interesting. This is over at Pure Xbox. It's something that I'm very excited about. Actually, Karasoft is bringing 5 simulation games to Xbox next week, and the big one for me, here's just, you can see, here's all these games. These are those simulation sprite games that pop up. So you have Station Manager, Hot Springs Story, Game Dev Story, Dungeon Village, and Dreamhouse Days. These are simulation-esque games, so Game Dev Story is the game for me. That's the one that I really want to dive into. If you're into simulation games, these are right up your alley. This is a Japanese studio, Karasoft. These games have a ton of character. They're well-reviewed. If you've never seen them, just go look at this trailer right here. In fact, can we click on it so it plays? There we go. Fantasy violence. But you can see, so there's Game Dev Story, like you're running a game studio and you've got to min-max your sales and create stuff. And it's so cool. I love these types of games. These are very, maybe not the most accurate comparison, but that Stardew Valley-esque feel where you're min-maxing what you're doing. You're trying to figure things out and get the most out of your employees or your workers and stuff like that. Very excited for this. I think this is big. And each title is only about $10. So not bad at all. If you like these type of games, go check them out. Go check out their reviews over on Steam and stuff. See how people like them, and see if this is for you, but it's coming to Xbox. Very excited for that. And our last news story of today, everybody, can you believe this is still going on? It's still going on. Microsoft Xbox chief Phil Spencer confident on closing the Activision deal here. He says that we're working cooperatively with the regulators over in the UK, and he's confident that this will happen. We're not actually going to read the quote because Bloomberg puts this behind a paywall, and I want to shame them for putting their news stories behind a paywall, but we will look at the headline here. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. Xbox is going to make this happen no matter what. I think Starfield's success actually helps or underscores in my mind that Activision Blizzard is huge for Game Pass, and if they need to leave, you've seen a lot of writers out there, UK-centric writers, by the way, writers out of the UK saying that if this doesn't go through, they believe that Xbox should just remove Game Pass from the UK altogether. It's that valuable to them, in my mind. The other thing that we didn't talk about last week is Xbox is also making a huge push in Asia. They hired Sony's previous Japanese, I forget the exact title, apologies, but the person over partnerships in Japan, they hired Sony's previous head of Japan partnerships, now at Xbox. Again, that's a big boy major league move. That's a big boy major league move saying, hey, we are 1,000% serious about tapping into the Asian market. We're 1,000% serious about bringing Xbox and Game Pass to Asia, to Japan, and that's only going to benefit us long term. Imagine the Japanese titles that we're going to get. Sony and Nintendo both have owned and dominated the Japanese game market for forever, JRPGs and the like. It's exciting to see Xbox get serious about that, and it's exciting to see in the future a lot of those Japanese games may have a place on Game Pass and on Xbox, and as Xbox gamers, we're going to be able to benefit from that 100%. Regardless, the Activision deal is going through. Of course, Phil Spencer's confident. They're on such weak footing and logic that even people that are against this deal and think it's bad for gaming are like, yeah, their logic is terrible. Their reasoning is terrible. So I'm talking about the CMA, the UK CMA rather. So it's gonna come through, but it's in the news, worth covering. I'll leave it there, guys. Today, thank you for joining me. If you're an Xbox gamer, if you're a gamer in general, and you like what we're doing here on this channel, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm X1 the Gamer. We cover Xbox news, opinions all the time right here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.